Hello everyone, my name is Dr. 𝒂𝒓𝒃𝘀 here with 𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀 Chiropractic. And today I want to talk about one of the most scariest things that we see in the office here a lot, tech neck. You'll see everyone walking down the street here and they're walking with their cell phones like this, and they're walking like that, sitting down on the chair like this. What does this look like? Well, I just obviously showed you that, but we can also see it on x-ray. What people don't realize is that with micro traumas such as tech neck, this can be a very prevalent, very reoccurring issue over a long period of time. With more and more cell phones, more tablets, more technology, more computers that we're seeing nowadays, more people using them, it's becoming more prevalent to the point where it's causing a lot of numbness and tingling in the fingers and the arms, and we can see it on the x-rays here. What we are looking for when we're looking from the side, we want this to be a nice 45-degree curve here along the neck that ensures that these nerves, if you look here closely, those nerves along here, that they're not being pinched, and ligaments and muscles are able to hold that. Well, with tech neck, about 80-90% of your day spent looking down like this, and over time, if we leave this for a long enough period of time, our body adapts and actually stays like this. Now, this is pretty scary because not only is it putting pressure along the nerves here on the side, but it's also putting pressure along the spinal cord. You see the spinal cord coming from all the way from the brain, going all the way down here. That's actually stretching it out. I think of a banana, right? We think of it has the nice curve there. When we put pressure on both ends and we try and straighten it out, it splits in the middle there, right? It splits, well, in the middle of one side or the other. Think of the same thing with your spinal cord. We want to make sure that we have that nice 45-degree curve here, so that way it's not only putting less pressure on the nerves along here, but also along the spinal cord as well. Along with pressure on that spinal cord, we also have muscle strain or muscle weakness or muscle fatigue, right? So when looking at the with tech neck here, looking down a lot, these muscles along here, this is the suboccipital triangle. This is what connects our skull to actually not just C1 but C2, the one below it. And so if we were looking at this for a long enough period of time, it's going to stretch out these muscles along here, causing those to fatigue, essentially to the point where it's painful. And that's what we see 90% of the time with people when they're looking down, looking at their phones, but also in car accidents or when they have reoccurring headaches. This is what's happening with the nerves here. So each one of these, not only is there nerves along here, but there's actually a nerve that goes through this middle triangle here, and with muscle strain, that can actually pinch on that, causing that searing pain that can come up and around the head. So this is why we're trying to adjust the C1, C2, so that way we can reduce this muscle strain on the muscles along here. Also, when we're looking down a lot, this actually weakens the muscles. So longus colli muscle, and then also the 𝒔𝒵 weakens these muscles. And if we don't do any exercises or any of the things that we show you along with the adjustments, it can cause them to be weak, and eventually it gets to the point where you're not able to hold your head up, and this is where we start to see more and more forward head posture. We start to see more and more of that hump. Some people, they start to develop a serious hump along this C7T1. So we want to make sure that we're getting adjusted regularly. And with the forward head posture, this can also cause a lot of weak traps. And eventually, a lot of people, we tend to keep our stress there. We tend to have a lot of muscle like knots or trigger points along that trap. And so this is where people, they have a difficulty being able to hold their head up. And it's just a constant cycle of looking down like this and creating a lot of forward head posture. Now, a lot of us, we see a lot of 70, 80, 90-year-old people that are walking around. They have that pretty bad curvature, not just along the neck here, but eventually it leads to the thoracic, and even to their lumbars at points. And so we want to make sure that with tech neck and muscle strain, that we get that corrected right away, so that way it doesn't become a long-term problem or a chronic problem.